Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire, apparently coming you to tonight from Satan's anus. It is 94 degrees here in the studio. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We are here to talk all things Superman. This is going to be a journey through time from the creation of the beloved character all the way to the modern era, and we will try to talk maybe a little bit about the new movie. So it's going to be a very fun conversation, and I am very much looking forward to it. We're down a couple members tonight. If anybody has seen Joker, please let him know Mom and Dad are worried, and for him to come home soon.
We have cookies.
Blair is out tonight, but that's all right. We have enough folk to talk through these many little sub topics that we have tonight, so it's going to be a good time. But before we get to any of that, we'll go around, say hello to everyone, and then say hi to the chat, and then get on into this thing. He is my partner on this channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from carpet bombing Metropolis because Guy Gardner's ridiculous haircut would be too distracting. He is Shieldwall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you this week?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, bowl haircuts are not that cool, but I don't know if you need to bomb an entire city just because of one. Yeah, I get it depends on who it's on, I guess. Yeah, it's a great topic, especially with the new movie coming out for Superman. But yeah, a way look back all the way from the beginning to up to where we're at right now, with the character and the world that that character has created, and I guess all of the how it affected everybody along the way. So looking forward to that. Yeah, great to be here.
Yes. Superman. Without Superman, the world of superheroes is a very, very different thing. I don't even know if it exists, frankly, into the modern era. I don't know. But he is the meme master of the interwebs, using his power for good instead of evil, back up to 37% of the time. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back, my friend. I love your new background.
Well, thank you. The fire rises. Yeah,
I love it.
Actually, that's a lot what it feels like right here, Jacob. Just in case.
That's probably why. That's probably why it's so hot. I started a fire.
That's a live video from Roman's anus.
Yeah, but
it's not good.
Coming to you from Roman's anus.
You have a fire in your background, but Mando is below you. So
yeah.
She's gonna start the fire. Sorry, we will stop that.
Are we going to claim for that? Right.
You AI, you could go to AI and say, "Hey, take weed and start the fire in Mando and make a video."
That is true. Now, that would
AI will go.
I would actually pay for that. I would pay to see that. So thank you, Jacob. What do you? I'm sorry, I blundered into the anus thing. Had to be a better way to say that. So you're doing all right. The raccoons have been kept at bay. How are things in the land of the Ironside?
I think the raccoons might have found me. Yeah, there's been some snafus with the the StreamYards.
Oh, well, StreamYard.
The little raccoon
like
techs,
running StreamYard
the
now.
little raccoon techs hacked into StreamYard and changed things. That's what happened.
It doesn't matter since I. What's? Hang on, I gotta read this thing from Frank Gately real fast. YouTube sucks. You can no longer play it in the background as you do something else unless you're a premium member.
What?
Yeah,
really?
That's been like that way for a long time for me.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, I on my phone, yes, but on the computer, it's just it's doing it. It's one of 27 things I have open. On the phone, you actually can. You can make a tiny screen and you can do other shit around it. I'm just from my experience. My experience.
I thought maybe that's what he was saying. Like it's a new update or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was doing it last night.
Okay, well maybe
it's important.
Maybe it's real new.
Don't use Chrome.
I use Chrome. I use a lot of different browsers for a lot of things. On my phone, though, it's just apps.
He might have it set such Google is like observing his Chrome. Use another different.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Where am I? I'm hot. Oh yes.
You're in
He,
hell.
man who knows all the things about all the things, as he just demonstrated. He is the fact that to be the unbearable 73, Matt of Steel. I didn't fuck it up tonight. I'm so proud of myself.
I went for a straightforward.
This is a banner moment for the show, folks.
It was
we
literally
did it.
3
we
words.
did it.
Bravo.
You did much, but you did apparently.
So proud of you, Roman.
You did much better with my name than Gunn did with Superman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
We'll discuss the movie throughout the night. I haven't seen it. I was going to see it. I'm probably not going to see it now because I don't have a 7 to 12-year-old that would enjoy it. I have my 25-year-old who said, oh, "Dad, I'm so sick of James Gunn's jokes." Huh? And I was like, I guess I'm not going to see the movie then, am I, son? So anyway, Matt, how are you this week? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty solid here in the Anus of America. You know, only 82, but feels like 95 with the crappy smoggy humidity. You know, so I was doing okay. Well, I will finally have new glasses for the first time in over 20 years.
Oh my God, Matt!
My prescription was the same for 20 years, and then when I went through the health mess I've been through the last, in October, for some reason, like the doctor said, my close-up vision, like my reading, stayed the same, but I'm actually because my far vision was bad, improved. My glasses are not too strong. That's
weird.
Yeah.
That is peculiar. You don't usually get that in glasses.
I like the facial hair going on there, Matt.
Yeah, nice. I wish I could just, because of my disability, I can't just leave it like this. I can't trim. I thought it's all or nothing. You know what I mean? And I don't like my facial any longer than this. I just can't. Okay. You know, I had at one point when I was around 29 or so, I had the full Grizzly Adams. I was down to like like hair like I look like Cousin It, except you could see my eyes and mouth. You know.
I like to keep what I call the Conrad length. No one got my Sean cut. Fuck off, all of you. So since you're here, he is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome, my friend. Apparently, the message got to you about the mail carton pictures. We were worried.
And the cookie.
Call the police, and we there are cookies. We are offering cookies. So good to see you, my friend. Oh, good God, it just never stops,
and it never will.
How are you, my friend? How are things at Arkham this week? Did they get an advanced preview of the new Superman film?
No, we don't like Superman at Arkham.
But I feel like you guys like him better than Batman.
No, we hate them all the same.
Accepted. Did you get to get out and see it tonight by chance, Joker?
No, I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. I just I woke up like 10 minutes ago.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us. Sorry about the sleep disruption.
No worries.
It looks like we'll tell you. Go ahead.
It looks like Roman, Shield, and I are all dressed for the occasion here.
James says
it's the closest I could do. Okay.
Like I said,
they're super.
I got 6 of these things.
Here, let me move.
I'll do the closest.
Because I'm a total fucking nerd. I have a whole drawer full of nothing but superhero shirts. I have more Superman shirts than any other shirt. It's Superman, Batman, then Captain America.
But are you a real nerd? Do you have the underoos drawer as well?
Oh, watch! Check it out!
No.
Yeah. Do you have the underoos?
And that is when Mando dies. That is when she kicks the can.
What?
Underoos with the race car frame bed.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Weeble Wobbles with the pirate Weeble Wobbles set. That's how you knew you were big pimping in the 70s. If you had the pirate Weeble Wobbles set.
Bored. What is it out here? It's back down to 93. It's getting cooler. Pardon me. She will tell you if this is the way. Books, games, or movies. She is armored up and ready to fight. She is Untamed Mando. Welcome back, Mando. It is good to see you. Not incarcerated. How are you this week?
I'm doing well. I told Tuesday on Jacob Ironside's channel that on the way home from the 4th of July, this was not my doing in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I just came across a house burning on the way home from the 4th of July. It was not my doing.
With little Mando
right,
coming from the house.
Let's see. We can start a poll on that.
When you say house burning, is that like a celebratory event, or is it just like a?
No, somebody's house was burning down. I think
combusted.
I have no idea. Like I said, I was just driving by. I saw a big black cloud of smoke. I was like, oh, I guess somebody, might be. I thought somebody was burning brush or something, and I was like, oh, that's a house on fire.
Did Mando start the 4th of July fire? Is this a yes or no question?
Yeah, she was like, as I was driving away from the building,
yeah,
I noticed it was on fire.
Pay no attention to the box of matches. In the
what could it possibly happen?
But,
oh, Lord.
But I'm just saying, like, set the place on fire.
She could put strychnine in the guacamole.
No salt.
I mean, there are people who confuse, like a water can for a gas can, and then you got to pour it out over a fire.
If any police agencies are watching this evening, this is all in good humor.
In Minecraft.
Mando, I'm just letting you know that does not hold up in court. You can even say you're crazy.
This is just catching fire.
Wow. There's a nice little comment there. And
it's fully responsible for it.
That sounds like an STD. You should get that checked out. Get that checked out.
Stephen Ransom. Oh my God! And let's last but not least, he is the red-headed giant in the land of the rising sun. Back with us once more, our good friends James Harris, the Ginger Ninja. How are you, my friend?
Doing very well, sir. Very well. Thank you again for having me on, and for the timely invite. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm an asshole, and I literally was at dinner last night. And I'm like, fuck. Let me see if James is around.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect timing. I've been busy as hell for the last. I don't even know, when was the last time I was on here. It was for the.
It's been a little bit.
It was for the Event Horizon. Was it Event Horizon?
I think it was Event.
Wow,
yeah,
that's been a little bit. Okay,
yeah,
that's been a while.
It's just been finally a little bit of a drop off of insanity, but it was perfect. It was great. I'm always checking you guys out, like kind of lurking there in the background, but
you like to watch.
Like, oh. Yeah, I just like to watch. I don't get active.
Oh Lord!
But I don't participate. Just like to watch.
Yeah, I've been seeing
in a chair,
the
in
stuff
a dark
that you've been
corner of the room
putting out on X, and some of the stuff you've been doing is looking really good.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, like amazing.
It's just a. You know what? I had a friend who told me, like, oh yeah, looking really great lately, man. I was like, yeah. It really helps whenever you clean up your studio so you can actually find things and actually have room to draw. The place is just
that's a thing.
I think you responded to one of my comments and said that you'd kind of like trying to add different techniques to some of the. I guess they're more time consuming, so you have to.
Well, yeah, it's just. I think what was like I've gone to some Comic Cons recently and you see people's work and you're like, damn, that's really good. What can I do to up my game and what's something that I need to do? And it's just always in the back of your head, like, okay, you got to do this now. And so lately, just broke out all the materials and I've got everything surrounding my, like 4 monitors. Well, I don't have 4 monitors, but like, like a person on their computer with 4 monitors and 10 keyboards. And that's how I am with like just all these instruments around me. And it's just fun. Yeah.
So, and James also has his Facebook page and he's over on Instagram as well, where you can just see his work too. So, I hate myself so much. Can someone pop James's data up into the feed here tonight as well? Because I fucked up.
Wow, yeah.
I made a lot of errors this week, folks. I'm just going to put it out there. I made a lot of errors. But here we are. I want to say hello to everybody over on X. We've got a lot of viewers over there right now, and over on
Mrs. Sparkle is not the only one that's on fire. Granted, my fire is not moving, so.
And we will go. Let's go say hi to our chat, and we've said hi already to our good friend Stephen Ransom. Always good to see you out there, Stephen. Miss Sparkles, hello. Ducka. Not tons of you hanging out in the chat tonight. Yeah, please join us. Join us in the chat. Our good friend Frank Yately, welcome. Always good to see you with us, sir. Ducka. And that looks like it's the chat. So don't be afraid to speak up, folks. I see you out there. Talk to us. We get lonely. We like to hear your comments.
So with Ginger Ninja here, and yes, I do hear music too, we're getting artwork and
Roman's so slow and possibly retarded.
Heavenly shades of memes are falling. It's in time.
And memes.
And the memes. Jacob, where are the memes?
They're not there. They're right there.
Oh, they're there. Okay, sorry. I'm all right. Oh, oddly appropriate.
Wait a second. I'm looking at this poll, and there are several people who voted, and it is 100%. Come on, guys. Does no one have faith in me? Does no one have faith in me?
We have faith in you. We have faith that you
answer to that
set that fire.
Is literally zero. Yes, you are part of the show every week, Pops. Even when you're not here, welcome to our good friend Pops. Always good to see you. That is great, Jacob. I'm George Reeves. I look good as George Reeves. I could pull off those wires.
That's actually Ben Affleck as.
Oh,
as Reeves.
Is it?
And
Wow. Okay, so that's now I'm just confused and actually a little dizzy, but that's okay. That's great. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
Look at that. That's a sexy man right there.
That is a sexy man. What is going on with the hair? It's a thing. It's going to be a thing for me.
It's the morning hair. My hat hair.
There it is. Is that hat hair? Okay, accepted.
Yeah.
Accepted.
Or cape hair. One of the two.
Looking very intense, though. James. Hey!
I immediately went to the bulge right there. Look at that.
That is...
Wow.
That's a bulge.
That's
baby.
Correct. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
It's a Italian Superman.
Italian stallion right there.
It's true. That's nice. Is Tyler actually that built? Not obviously the midsection isn't, but are the arms his or the arms the suit?
I don't know.
And then I'm not getting to the lower regions, the nether regions, as they say. Where is Matt? Why do I see a cat? That's actually there, right? Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Hi, kitty.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because sometimes it's not.
Sammy's missing.
Fucking Sammy.
Why did all of my emotes just get deleted off of my side of YouTube? YouTube! I see what you just did!
I don't know what's happening now. Fucking Sammy. That's also like what I don't want to. The sad thing is that's not my least favorite Superman movie. That's the tears.
I actually really liked him. He looked the part.
No,
him.
Yes, the movie.
Yes.
No, we're going to talk about this later. Actually, I need to. Blair, in it.
Wow.
That's he looks a little bit like the
James Gunn.
A little bit.
Wow.
A little bit.
That's the Dean Cain Superman.
Really? Was the S that fucking big?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dean Cain.
Wow.
There you go.
Thank you. Angry. Man, that hair though. I actually loved Henry Cavill's Superman. I know.
Just wasn't. Wow.
You can love his portrayal of the character and not like the movies or whatever. You know what I mean? He did fine with the role. It's just you got crap to work with.
Such a loss.
Wow.
You know, it actually kind of works a little bit.
I don't see any difference. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
it's actually these are actually for the ones later that might not be as flattering.
So these are the non-evil ones.
Oh, hey, Anna, Rio's out there. Hello, sir.
Literally 10 people have voted, and all of them say I'm the one who started the fire. It wasn't me. I'm telling you.
The poll doesn't lie. The poll doesn't lie.
Oh, that's
Superman Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah, that is a return. I don't know what's up with that cape.
Oh wait,
is it like a leathery
I like
cape?
the cape in that.
That's not the Reeves Superman.
That's Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The I don't know. His cape looks like a fruit roll-up.
That's what
it does.
It has the sheen of a fruit roll-up.
Yikes.
I did not like that. I liked Brandon Routh.
Oh, nice.
That movie.
Jacob.
That is
kind of looks like Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't just compare me.
What suit is that?
That's based on the first appearance of Tyler Hoechlin as Superman.
Hey, I got one vote that says no. Take that. Take that.
That was you, Mando.
You can't vote for yourself, Mando.
That's you. We all know who voted that. That's you. Hey. That's George Reeves.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that works. So that actually is pretty much spot on to the actual.
And that is the best.
That works.
Best live action Superman costume ever.
That I don't know. You know what that? I would think that's like what your dad would look like in the film.
Yeah, Superman. Yeah.
That's me out of the shower every day.
We did that earlier in the movie. We did that earlier in the show, Pops. You missed it. You missed our bad.
Yeah. Okay. So
no, we didn't sing. We didn't do that one.
Don't change it yet, Roman. Don't change it yet. So that Superman costume is the closest to the aesthetic of most of the artists, where the Superman costume is supposed to look like something a little kid would put together when they're trying to be a superhero. Like it's supposed to, in other words, the earnestness, the sort of the innocence of Superman of children. That was a connection a lot of the early artists made with the character and why the costume looked the way it did.
Well, apparently that's the way they feel about it in the new movie as well, which is okay. I was framed. You were not.
Wait, what?
What is this? What? Oh, that one that looks good. He's gonna be upset he wasn't here. Which suit is that?
That's the. I'm not sure. That may not be the suit from.
I don't know because that's not a front roll
show.
of cape, so that's not Returns.
It's Smallville.
Ha! It wasn't me. Ha ha!
Okay.
It was Rio. Ha ha ha!
Oh, don't. Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. You can say that if you want to, but we all know who it was.
So Mando voted yes. Then.
What the fuck?
Holy moly! What the heck is this?
Nightmares.
This one really looks like something
old Superman.
Exactly.
That's Kirk Allen.
Yeah, it's from like 1948 or something, right?
Yeah, that's 1948. That's right.
Like the Joker.
First live action.
Yeah,
Jokerized Superman.
Exactly.
There we go. Exactly.
Look at that.
That's Superman for a modern era.
You should all be so. You know what? I'll take that as a compliment.
That's good. That's a good one. Oh, nice. Good job, Jacob.
You have
the black suit.
Yeah, that one's
like
pretty
that.
good.
That's like poster worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fuck yeah! Shieldwall!
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
I like both for very different reasons.
That's fucking great. We don't usually get Shieldwall.
The other one is like kind of like a cross between Batman and Superman. It's got like a mask.
Right?
Yeah.
I love it. That's fucking great.
Nice.
Do you have the Nick Cage? The Nick Cage.
Wow, nice. That's good.
Wait.
Good.
Wow.
Hi, Bizarro.
Yeah, is that supposed to be Frankenstein or something?
That's Bizarro.
Why does Roman's face just fit? Like, why?
Yeah. And moreover, just why? Man. That's unnerving.
Yeah, isn't that the Nick Cage one?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Marilyn
the
Manson.
nightmares right
Now
there.
this is
Wow.
Joker is like, this is the most evil thing I've ever seen. I'm the Joker.
No, I'm fine with it.
Just play. Welcome to the show. Yes.
I don't remember that
folks,
suit looking that good.
Well, it's something. It's more like a
except
sumo
for
wrestler
the
fucking
bottoms,
cod piece there. That's
that's terrible.
alarming.
But the rest of it looked.
Oh my god. What? What?
Just like what?
It
Why?
fits. It fits.
I don't know
Why?
what
Why does it
was.
fit? It looks good. Why?
Oh, wow. King B. Johnson. Welcome. Ooh, Lord.
Why does it fit so well? Why?
Jacob's got. He's a wizard. He is. Whoa! What the shit?
Oh gosh.
I don't know what's worse.
This is
Me or
What the
Sammy?
hell is this?
this is updated for a modern audience.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
This is the
I am
Netflix version.
I don't even know who is the.
That was a weird
Yeah.
movie. Super.
Is this the
I-
80s?
Yeah,
I
the
don't know what
84
this
one.
is. I know it's terrifying.
It's
I also think I
Supergirl.
look pretty good.
Her greatest foe in it is a witch. I mean, come on.
Accepted. Wow.
Well, that wasn't the
Oh.
premise.
What's
The premise
up,
was
cannoli?
She had no
Oh, my
power.
man Cannoli.
She got to be part of that.
Hello, sir. Robin is my Superman. I gave him some kryptonite. Yes, it's the way you gave me the kryptonite, though.
Suppository.
Freezing.
You beat me to it.
Woo! Wow,
That's
that's
once
the most
again,
alarming
your
one I think we've
face
done so
fits
far.
everywhere, Roman.
Yeah. Oh.
Jeez. The hell?
Wow, I knew you had a beard. I knew it.
That might be the best one.
God.
These are so good. Oh man, I needed that line.
Oh, my Lord. Why?
Roman, that's one you need. That's one you need in your house.
This is
I knew you had a beard as a child.
I know. Roman is like the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's like, "Where's my stogie?"
Oh.
Mom, did you put the whiskey in the bottle? I don't think I want the whiskey without, or want the bottle without the whiskey, Mom.
Oh my God, Jacob, that's
Wonderful.
yeah, it's true. Oh. Wow, that I and there's more is the thing. That's why it's actually disturbing.
I didn't. This was too perfect. I didn't want to.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I agree.
Which today I think I've listened to this theme probably a dozen times.
Well, John Williams gave us such incredible standout pieces of music that are instantly recognizable for the film to which they belong. And the Superman theme, especially for me, the opening salvos of the Superman theme, are those incredible to the build, to the crescendo. It's just, but the opening just a little bit is just such a wonderful piece of music. Incredible composer. It's all together.
Look at that.
That is awesome.
What is it? The Justice Squad? The Justice Team? What was it?
I think this is the special justice team.
The special justice.
Yeah, the super verse.
This is the short bus team.
That's fucking great though, Jacob. I fucking love it, man.
Just a team.
In fact, Jacob, do me a favor. Send me that one after the show if you don't mind. I can use that.
And the babies.
And the babies.
Yeah, the
Well,
babies.
this one I can use. I can't use the babies other than to terrify my friends with. But again, I want to say thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us over on X and on YouTube. Let your friends know that we are here and we are live and we are about to kick this thing off, or as Supergirl would say, kick this bitch off. So,
exactly.
And I won't dwell. That was Jacob again. You have fucking brilliance, my friend. That was fantastic.
That was
so.
Really good.
Oh Lord, that
don't go changing.
So, Superman was the first Superman comic. Was out in 1938. Created by Jerry Siegle and Joe Shuster. Action Comics #1. Everybody, you're all aware of Action Comics #1. You know what it looks like. And if I was better at my job, I could bring up the frame. Here it is. And yes, I knew I wasn't actually on that time. So, please keep James Gunn away from any future. I will try, Canoli. I wish I had the power to control who was doing what in Hollywood, because it wouldn't look the way it does now.
I go see it tomorrow. So
I go see it tomorrow too. So
yeah, I probably was going to, but now I don't think that I.
I already spent money on tickets.
So, yeah, I don't want to go by myself. And my son, like I said, has expressed a desire not to see James Gunn humor in a Superman film. So it is what it is.
I mean, Roman, you can always drive up to see me, and you can go.
Well, if I leave after the show, then we could catch either the late show or the early show, depending.
Right.
So like I said, we all know that the Action Comics scene, and our good friend, and I was really hoping he would be here tonight. Sammy did a whole special on these early Superman,
the Fleischer cartoon.
The Fleischer cartoon
from 1938 or so. So here's the basic on this cartoon. A lot of you who are Roman's age or my age might remember this, like maybe in black and white from our little kids. They were in color originally, hand drawn and all that. But obviously, color tech back then, you had if you saw it in the theater, you'd see it in color. But when TV first came out,
see if I can find one of these that has some moving parts.
They're on YouTube. I watched the full episode today in color.
Yeah. So
it was
The important thing is though, they got digitally remastered, rescanned, then they cleaned up the original. They don't do this a lot of time with when they digitally remaster stuff. They took the original drawings, so to speak, cleaned them, then scanned them in, so to speak. And they did this about 8 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. So there's a high def box set of Blu-ray of this cartoon you could see now to see the original glory of it, so to speak. And
here we go.
Why is this cartoon significant? Well, Superman first flew in this show. There are a couple of other tropes from it that got adopted by the comic.
Look how good this looks.
Yeah.
They look
I think
amazing.
the animation is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is something about the animation. When they approached the animators to do it, they've been used to doing cartoony stuff. Like the cows playing lutes and all that kind of stuff, like you see in the old
Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes
stuff. But so they asked for $100,000 in that time.
Wow!
Wow!
And but the studio, they thought, because they didn't want to do it, but then the studio gave them half of that. It's still the most expensive per episode, if you account for inflation. These are the most expensive animations ever done.
Yeah,
for animation.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
I do love this animation though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's my absolute favorite. Imagine being a kid in 1940 and going to this theater and seeing this. how it would spark your imagination.
So Superman in this animation was depicted as significantly more powerful than it was in the comics at the time. By the way, and here's a little sort of trivia for you. One of the main reasons that Superman lawsuit failed ultimately was in part because of this cartoon, because Superman has so much stuff introduced outside of what Shuster and Siegle did in the cartoon by later writers in the comic and all that. That ultimately was determined that Superman wasn't really the creation of one dude. Like to give them the lawsuit, you would have a dude who can jump over tall buildings who didn't have the S symbol, was from Krypton, but they don't know if it was a planet or not. You know, like there was so much add on afterwards. This show was the first thing to add on that stuff. You
know, I'm just blown away by this, and I can't spend too much time here because we have a lot to go over, but this animation and this at the time was probably the world's. More people saw this, I would suspect, than saw the cartoons, saw the comic book when it came out in 1938.
Much like today,
our boy Clark.
I love the art style.
Yeah, the art and that stuff was just phenomenal.
Color's so good.
So, like I said, we are going to be time traveling tonight, and I can't, like I said, unfortunately, I'd love to spend a lot more time on things, but we just can't because we have to get through about not quite 100 years. So that was 1941 to 1943 that the Max Fleischer cartoons were on. And that was some incredible stuff. And then we got our first feature here. Superman Comes to Earth. And this is Kirk Alyn.
Yeah.
This is the first movie Superman. And it was, I don't know how long this was. I don't think it was a very long feature.
Well, it was a serial. So, like, if you saw it back then, it was like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 parts. But now it's like one big movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so those of you youth out there who don't know, these serials were made to, like, before a movie, you'd go in and watch a couple of serials. And as like nowadays, you watch advertisements, right? But trailers and all that. But they would show these serials before movies, because movies going was like a big event back then.
Yeah, the pre-TV times, this is what you did.
Commando Cody, Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers, yeah.
Flash Gordon,
yeah.
So these are, a lot of the names that you recognize, Lois, Jimmy Olsen, all that. But this is not the one that most people are familiar with as far as their introduction to Superman, and that 1951 was the movie, and this was where George Reeves was introduced into the role, and he stuck around for quite a bit. Superman. Oops, sorry. And I saw these obviously not when they first came out, but what in the shit are you doing to me? Wait. Oh my! So, sorry. But it's
something happened to your mic, Roman.
Yeah.
Something switched outputs and inputs.
Well, we heard that.
Yeah.
Well, the first couple seasons of this were black and white. Then it became color. I think it's been remastered, but I don't know if it's been like cleaned up in high def.
Can you hear me?
You're back now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, thank you for letting me know that.
It's probably some StreamYard's fuckery.
Yes.
Yeah.
This show had sadly, George Reeves ended tragically with self-termination, but otherwise, and that's why this show was canceled. But it would have went. They were planning on 2, 3, 4, 5 more seasons of the show. So it was very popular.
So this was the short film 1951. The show 1952 to 1958, The Adventures of Superman. Now, the look of all this is going to be very, very similar, of course.
Well, the movie is what kicked off the series, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oops, this is not. Why are we? Oh.
Yeah, there was like a 1 hour, hour and a half. Something.
Yeah. Okay. That was the Mole Man.
Superman and the Mole Man.
This is Smallville.
This is Smallville. I don't know why it's showing the Smallville, but we can do stills though. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, a lot of the same looks. The suit is clearly padded. But to everyone of this era, this was Superman.
And even in the comics back then, he wasn't gripped. You know what I mean? He just, if you look at it, he's kind of square shouldered and everything, but he's not like now where you can see all kinds of definition.
Yeah, Superman, his build became more and more bodybuilder-esque like each decade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Power Girl's boobs. Very similar. Just kept getting bigger and bigger.
The boob window. Yep.
It's like weird science.
And then I think it like reversed at some point in time, and now it's somewhere. I don't know.
And a lot, boots. Not that I'm slamming early artists, but
boots kept getting bigger.
Comic artists evolved and advanced in the ability to do the details over time. Early on, like 30s, 40s, 50s, the art looked more abstract. But if you look at the interpretation, like the artists seem to their skill level increased over time Yeah,
it was a deco style as well, the Art Deco style.
Yeah,
totally. And so it kind of to have him overly ripped and everything just kind of doesn't work with that kind of style. It's
right.
Just really breaking it down to its simple structure, which I personally kind of prefer that.
Then we do a pretty big jump here to oops, I'm sorry. I got ahead of my notes because I'm a fucking monkey. 1966 to 1970, the New Adventures of Superman cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And again, men of my age will probably remember this because we would get them in reruns.
Yeah, I think.
It would also. It's in the same style as like Fred Flintstone, the Jetsons, like Space Ghost.
Yes,
a lot of us who are like Roman's age and my age would remember this like more in like the 80s when it became smorgasbord with Super Friends.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching reruns of this when I was a kid, but I also watched TV Land and
when you were a
stuff.
Mando, they would have separated it back out to its own property. Like in the 80s, you would have watched the Super Friends hour, and it would have been like Super Friends and this, then 60s Batman and Scooby Doo.
Right? Yeah. Because I watched older cartoons like as well because that was what was on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not meaning to be neglectful here. I just I'm hot, and I'm lucky I'm able to do anything. Superman for all seasons. I haven't. I'm not familiar with that one. The Mole Man in the Fantastic Four. First up looks the Mole Man in the Fantastic Four. So should look great like this. Superman today is facing. Oh, that's true. There is no mole. There's that fucking dog. The Superman here looks a lot like Superman that you think of from even the comic books of the day. Not so much the face definition, but the suit and body definition very much. Very wide. So this is fun. Superman definitely gets better.
I think Roman. I think your output's switched again.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
Yeah.
I don't think StreamYard's. There you go. Yep.
Testing.
Yes.
It might have something to do when you're putting the slides up or something. I've seen other streams. I've seen where it's happened on other streams.
Yeah.
Not with you, but with other streamers.
Right.
Right.
Don't know. And yes, I know. Yeah. So just keep me appraised, and we'll just try to work through it, folks. Do our best.
It comes and goes and clears up.
So here is the Super Friends. Now, this was legitimately my introduction to Superman.
Right. Yep. This was the Godzuki era.
that I fully remember seeing.
Yep, I remember seeing reruns of this for sure.
I remember seeing these when they came out like every week.
Yes.
Yeah, you get up Saturday morning. This is your Saturday morning.
This was a new episode. It was this, then it was Scooby-Doo, and then Godzuki and Godzilla and Godzuki.
Yes.
Yep.
Fucking
a couple of other ones.
That was the Godzilla Power Hour for those who don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also lived to see the introduction of Scrappy-Doo, which basically ruined Scooby-Doo for me.
I agree.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
So
I was never a fan of Scrappy.
I was more a fan of Scooby-Dum.
Poor Scooby-Doo.
But yeah, I feel like this was actually the real
Wonder
precursor to Justice
Wonder
League.
Twins and Gleek.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gleek the monkey.
What was it though? Okay, so she could turn into anything, and he turned into water, or
He
something.
could turn into water, and he could turn into an animal. I think, right?
She could turn into animals, and he could turn into.
She was shape of, and he was form.
Right, because I remember she
Yes.
turned into a bucket one time, and he hid, like he turned into water and went inside her, and they like hit the corner.
That sounds unfortunate as a brother and sister.
Yeah, it does.
And a lot of people forget that Cyborg, like his first introduction was with Super Friends before Teen Titans.
Now,
here's
this was even better. This was even better. The Legion of Doom.
Yes.
There was a whole bunch of memes with the Legion. Solomon Grundy won pants. You know, the whole, if you look right. Solomon Grundy won pants.
Black Manta.
That, by the way, is Black Vulcan, not Black Lightning.
Right.
Correct.
She was wearing like the cheetah outfit. I can't
That
remember.
is Giganta.
Yes.
Giganta. Okay.
She's not gigantic yet though. She's like normal.
She
can like get bigger and smaller.
Everything gets gigantic.
Roman, go back to the with Giganta and Grundy there. Okay, look at look at Sinestro. Right, because he's wearing his ring on his left hand.
Yep.
Who's the guy in the jester hat?
Toyman.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's Mantis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Manta.
No, they got all the and they made him up for the show. Yeah, the chief dude.
Yeah. Look, it's actually blonde Aquaman.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Proper Arthur Curry.
Like maybe the best episode of this show ever was when the space giant came to the solar system. Inside, he wanted to keep the Earth as in his pocket. So Apache Chief and Superman team up. Apache Chief grows to the size of the sun to fight the space giant to distract the space giant, while Superman rescues the Earth and puts it back into its orbit. That sounds totally absurd, but it's one of the funnest cartoons to watch.
Taking the Earth out of its orbit. I mean, if you gave me a week, I could not list all the reasons why that's a
terrible idea. Wasn't the Legion of Doom, their headquarters was in a swamp or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wendy,
they did
Michael, and Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
So, Joker, do you remember it was one of the modern cartoons. It was Justice League Doom. From the new Warner Brother, from the new era of cartoons.
The new 52.
They have the Legion of Doom in it. It's fucking good.
It was started by Vandal Savage, and you had Bane, Star Sapphire, Cheetah,
and Batman. What they've done is Batman has put together kind of a how to kill the rest of the Justice League list, just in case he ever needed to.
Right.
Yeah. But Vandal Savage steals that.
Yes.
So they now have the weaknesses for all Justice League. It's such a good cartoon. The modern animated features were so good. And then they
as people were saying, as Batman is hearing what's going on with members of the Justice League, he calls Alfred and he's like, Alfred, the Justice League is under attack. By who? By me.
So
here we have the quintessential Superman.
That is Superman. That's is Superman.
Okay, so I haven't seen Corn Sweat's Clark Kent yet, but to me, this is the best Clark Kent on screen. This movie right here.
And I have parts of this that I don't like, and I've expressed them before. It's not Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves is brilliant. I hate Otis, and I don't like Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor.
And you're wrong.
It's just
I've never ever heard that.
I don't know. I don't like it because I don't like the goofy aspect of these characters. That's an opinion thing. I especially fucking hate Otis. I might have been able to live with Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor without Otis, but it's fine. But Christopher Reeve's Superman is so good. He really does. He has the look, his voice, just his expressions. There is nothing about this man that doesn't scream Superman.
Well,
and the suit and the perfect suit.
It's also the portrayal of Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. No, yeah, they're very different. They're very different.
That scene where he goes,
yes,
where Clark is going to go on a date with Lois, or he like shows up at her house.
He takes off the glasses,
and he's thinking about telling her he's Superman. And then the last second he puts it, but he straightens up. He just the change in his aura,
his posture.
Right.
He was so brilliant. Just the change of his posture brought about an entirely different look for the actor and the character. It was remarkable.
So for those who don't know, this sort of Stark, the crystal aspect of Krypton and the starkness of it as a society, that's something kind of introduced in the movie that carried over to almost all future depictions of Superman.
Yes.
Not to say they weren't Stark or weird some crystals involved in Krypton in the past in some of the previous depictions, but this sort of codified in a new way, so to speak.
Well, and I did very much like their take on Krypton. It was so alien, so cold. It was, it's not an Earth-like culture at all. It's so far advanced.
I just like this. This 1978. Roman and I were probably around 7-ish, and the tagline for this film: "You'll believe a man can fly."
Yeah,
and again, just like when I was listening to the orchestral theme, and you can't help but just the corners of your mouth go up. You're kind of you kind of feel a little lighter. Your shoulders kind of pick up, and it's just, you can't help it.
This is kind of an era too where people really needed that hero.
Yes,
it
was a very different time.
Yeah,
it's Vietnam is wound down, but only just.
So
the country is very divided. We've had some good stuff. We've had Star Wars that had come out, but you are coming out of a very dark area. The Iran, actually, is the Iran
no, it didn't happen
thing hit
until
yet?
79.
Not yet. 79. Okay.
Yeah.
Oil prices gas is through the roof.
They just had the gas crisis. I think it might have been over by that point.
Well, Jimmy Kuiper, hyperinflation was happening to America.
The hyperinflation. It was a rough time. So that beacon of hope was pretty good.
Watergate, the whole
the Civil Rights Act just passed 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was
I'm sorry.
That was 64. Also, we had just 6 years earlier than that, maybe less, gone to fiat currency.
What a stupid idea that was.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing. Dumbest.
But that's
Zod.
Zod.
Sheila, if you want, we'll talk later about that.
This is my favorite Superman film. I like Superman 2 a lot, and it does have its faults because of the difference in directing that happened.
Well, this is the first film under when Superman, the media property was controlled by the Salkinds, Ilya and the other. So it starts with an A. That was Superman the movie, Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, Supergirl, and then the Superboy TV show was the end of their license. And the directing thing happened. So they were filming Superman 1 and 2 at the same time, right?
Yes.
And
so Richard Donner and
with Richard Donner, and he had filmed all Superman 1, and I want to say
Richard Lester's the other director.
80% of Superman 2, right? And for those who know, Richard Donner directed Lethal Weapon, for example, and Lester himself was an accomplished director, but they had differences in style, and
very, very evident.
Yeah. So Lester, so they didn't film the last 25% of Superman 2. Lester filmed his version of that, and he would put a lot more humor in his stuff than Donner would, right? Like Lester was kind of more like James Gunn, if you want a modern example, And now when they put Superman 1 out, the best effect they had was when Superman traveled back in time, not the reverse time. He traveled back in time, and that was supposed to be the end of the second one because Zod was supposed to raffle stomp the earth and kill millions of people and stuff like that. That was in the plan, so to speak. So they put that effect at the end of Superman 1 because they weren't sure they would ever be able to finish Superman 2 because no one knew these films like Superman, Star Wars, Star Trek were going to be successful. They didn't know any of this sci-fi was going to explode like they said, Then when it did, and the Salkinds got the budget to do the rest of Superman 2, and obviously then unfortunately got Superman 3 out after that.
And 4.
Yeah.
Well, 4 wasn't. 4
was terrible.
No, it was a bad movie, but it wasn't it wasn't a mocker like Superman 3 was. You could have fixed Superman 4 with a better script. You know what I mean?
Right. Maybe some.
Although Superman 3 did give us one of the cooler Superman moments, where it was dark Superman.
Okay, I just want to make the one little note here. In Superman 2, Zod, played by Terrence Stamp, actually became the voice of Jor-El in Smallville.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I also Superman 2 gave us Ursa, so
yes.
She was. That was when I first started to realize. I was like, huh.
People don't realize how brutal she was. She was the most violent thing you could possibly on TV at the time, movie at the time. She killed that little kid with the hubcap. You guys remember that?
They took that. That's in the Donner cut. That's not in the regular theatrical cut.
And by the way, so Richard Donner and Bryan Singer kind of remade what's the Donner cut, which you can watch and enjoy it. I would enjoy it more than the Lester cut of Superman 2.
Yeah, the only down part is it's not complete. There are effects gaps.
It's still better than Lester Superman 2.
I have a question. Do you think that in the future, some of these movies that have these effects gaps, AI can be used to fill them in?
Probably.
They can do it now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, but I mean by just regular fans.
Oh,
we can do it now.
Completely. Yeah.
10 years from now, you're going to be like, hey, Grok, take The Wind in the Willows and make me a live action movie with young Viggo Mortensen as it's starring in it, and it'll just do it for you. This,
there's the nightmare scene.
Livid fear of that happening.
Oh, did you guys hear about the test, the new breakthrough they did in Japan, where they were able to download the entire Netflix movie library in 1 second?
Oh boy,
you're kidding.
That.
No, they did it, and it was over 1,000 kilometers distance. They were able to do it.
Oh, was it fiber?
Yeah, it's like some kind of fiber optic cable thing. The only reason I bring it up is because people are like, "Oh, I can't wait to use that when it comes out." And yeah, your average American will be able to use that in about 50 years.
If you were to install it in your home right now, the power draw for 10 seconds of use would be like the entire rest of your life combined.
I know.
Why is that guy drawing 800 megawatts in 3 seconds? It's like,
That's the other thing. You might be able to get AI to do that movie, but you're going to need a nuclear reactor to power it.
Basically.
21 gigawatts.
Yeah.
I was going to beat me to it again.
Gigawatts.
Now there are 2 people who believe me that I did not burn down that house. Ha ha!
Vote twice, Mando. You can't vote twice.
Yeah, you can. People are wrong.
Many
no
of us
either.
Many of us point out that the plot for Superman and Batman by Zack Snyder is basically almost like point for point the same as the plot of this movie. So,
Wait, who is that?
That's a Nuclear Man.
Okay,
I personally loved this movie when I was a kid.
I can't remember this.
Oh my God, James!
I remember I saw it, but I was
when I was a kid. Like I said, you could enjoy this movie as like a mindless popcorn film.
Yeah,
it has a lot of like fights and stuff like that. It's just very badly written. Like
the dialogue.
This was one of the movies that killed Canon, the Canon Film Group. This was one of those movies. There was a couple at the end, and this was definitely one of them.
That's probably why I don't remember it so well. I think I saw it once and was just like, ugh, and I never watched it ever again.
But that's the way I felt about it too.
This film also had a definite
like an agenda, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Agenda that they wanted to push.
Well, of course, like a villain named Nuclear Man. Like,
Roman might not have it, but the very end of the Sal Khan's license for this was right after this, the Superboy TV show.
Superboy?
I don't have Superboy.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I should mention.
Is that a live action? That's live action. Okay, I don't think I ever saw that.
I didn't even know that existed.
It was syndicated. Had a couple okay episodes.
What year did it come out?
I want to say I don't remember. I want to say 1990, but I will actually look the year up.
Oh, okay. I was busy doing a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
no way I saw that show.
You and me both, buddy.
1988. There you go.
So what I did want to talk about briefly, and this is some comic book stuff, and unfortunately my go-to comic book site will no longer let us download full versions of comics, which is very depressing to me. The Dark Knight Returns, 1986. This is Frank Miller's remarkable work. But the Superman in this comic, most of you, if not, probably everybody in this audience is familiar with The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I still like this version of Superman. While he's the only one left. He's working for the government, and they hire the President Reagan, who it's easily President Reagan in the comic book, wants him to stop Bruce from doing Bruce Wayne stuff again, from being Batman, because the superheroes are essentially illegal.
Tamed.
For all effects and purposes. And so he sends him to fight Bruce. Oh, and it doesn't have it on this page. I wish it did. Like I said,
I've seen the TV or the cartoon movie.
Oh, actually, no. You know what, Mando? I can bring that up. I can bring that up instead. Now, it's not the comic book, but the story is.
It's almost frame for frame in some.
It really
is. Some spots.
Yeah.
IMDb. So I know this is actually later than the time frame we're talking about, but
but it's based off of this comic for sure.
I'm sorry, man. It's so hot. The Dark Knight Returns, and it's broken into 2 parts. I wish it was the full thing. I think Superman comes into the second half of this.
He does, yes.
So I'm just bringing.
And this is where old Bruce comes in with the mech suit to bust Superman.
Kicks his butt.
So, yeah, this is where they steal a lot, like from Batman versus Superman. You get the suit kind of stuff, and it's taken from this comic book. This is part 1. I grabbed the wrong part. I'm sorry, because I am not a smart man. Hang on a sec. Give me a moment.
So in the mid 80s, when this came out, the comic, this was right when DC rebooted the whole universe and had all the heroes go back to be sort of default ground zero. And what happened is a lot of what we call Elseworlds started coming out with, like The Dark Knight Returns and all. Eventually Superman Red Sun's another one people will talk about. Where they take maybe older versions of the character or how this character might evolve, how the original universe continued or whatever, and just like there was if you went to the comic store, there'd be like your racks of normal comics, and it'd be a whole like bigger than ever, like the regular racks of like 17 miniseries and standalones with all these Elseworlds and What Ifs and whatever.
There we go.
And and a lot of it was kind of garbagey, but you got some quality stuff like Dark Knight Returns and all.
Yeah, well, this changed a lot of things in comic books. This was kind of the new age of comics premiered with this. Everything that followed this was different. There we go. Clark. If you've never seen this comic book or read the book, one, I'm sorry for your life, but two, the end, after the fight, at the funeral, when Clark hears the heartbeat and he looks over at Carol and he winks, and that's it. I just thought it's like he's still Clark. He is still Clark Kent and Superman. He's just having to do things a bit differently. But this was a brilliant animated feature. If you've not, like I said, I would read the comic first and then watch this, and you're not going to be disappointed in this in the least. And you get Peter Weller as the voice of Batman in this. He does a great job as the older Batman.
The one that I watched, God, it was probably 15 years ago now. It was actually a Supergirl animation, but it had Superman in it, where they fight Darksider.
Okay, so
that's probably Superman Unchained, or is that?
That's from a comic or originally. I will mention this because Joker Voice referenced this originally way back at the beginning. So before his child died and Jeff Loeb kind of went insane and could no longer write comics, right? He wrote. We mentioned that someone mentioned Superman for All Seasons. He wrote that. He wrote the Batman: The Long Halloween, and he wrote a comic. He wrote in 1995-ish. World's Finest in DC Comics refers to the team up of Batman and Superman, and the original World's Finest ran for like 35 years or whatever, right? Then post Crisis it disappeared until Jeff Loeb restarted it, and there was about 25 issues or so of Superman Batman, which Jeff Loeb wrote, and the story arcs in there was when they brought Supergirl back because she had disappeared with Crisis. He wrote that. He wrote the Emperor Joker storyline, the second or third Emperor Joker storyline, and another arc in there. And the Supergirl story arc is where Darkseid basically kidnaps Supergirl when she emerges from her ship on Earth because she got trapped. They were both sent as she was sent as a child to protect him in the reboot reincarnation, but she got trapped in a sort of time warp and wound up emerging as like a 16-year-old.
Right. Yeah, she like got suspended in space or something.
And then Darkseid kidnapped her and brainwashed her to basically be his queen Kryptonian, so to speak.
But they had to go to Darkseid's in the cartoon I watched. They had to go to Darkseid's thing, and Batman was there.
Well, they had to go to Apocalypse and fight Darkseid.
Yeah. And then they have
that's Apocalypse. Fight. That's that cartoon. That's the cartoon.
Then they have a big
fight. We're going to touch on that.
But it's from Superman Batman, the comic series that Jeff Loeb wrote. And the trick at the end of the comic was they convinced Darkseid that they killed the Supergirl is dead to give them time to fix her, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lois and Clark.
So this is 1993 to 1997. This is the Dean Cain Superman.
It's cheesy.
Very popular.
But it's cute. But it's
all
cheesy.
The parts with him as Superman are cool. Lois,
it's around the same time like Teen Wolf and all of that was popular.
This is the hottest Lois has ever looked.
Well, the thing, no, that's Erica Durant from Smallville. Anyway, the thing about this show that they deliberately wanted to have, because Lois in the comics has her own arcs. Like she's not just a backup character Superman, right? So they wanted this show to reflect that, right? And so you oftentimes would have like two main storyline threads for there'd be the story for the episode, then you have Lois's journey through it and Clark's journey through it, so to speak. And unfortunately, the writing for her story arcs very often was subpar. And combine it with Terry Hatcher having a bad reputation in Hollywood, and that's why this show gets a lot of like short riffs. But the Superman parts of this show, like some very good stuff in there. So I would recommend watching it at least once you haven't seen it. Dean Cain deserves a lot more credit for his portrayal here than a lot of people give credit for.
I found the show incredibly campy.
I mean that was the thing for the time, though. That that's just what it was during that time. That's what was popular.
That's the 90s.
You had Buffy, you had Teen Wolf, you had.
Well. See, I'm gonna.
I'll be right back, guys. I need to go get something so I don't pass out because it's so hot.
I'm gonna push back because Buffy for a season or two went to some really dark places.
Well, yeah, it had those moments, but that wasn't the norm. I'm referring to the TV shows that were popular during that time.
Right. I'm just saying. For me, the show was fine. I preferred. If I was to pick a TV series about Superman, I like Smallville more than.
Oh yeah, Smallville much better than this for sure. But I'm just thinking of the things that were popular.
But yet still campy.
Oh, of course.
But again, it's good campy, not bad campy.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I've never seen a full episode of either of those shows.
Really? Wow. Okay.
No, it's just because they came out I was at the height of being busy working. I didn't have time to do anything.
as to our friends in the woke left media, Gene Cain is a non-white guy who played Superman, despite the mass media claims of not having ever happened.
Right. Yeah, he's a quarter Japanese.
Hawaiian and Japanese,
at least.
Is he? I thought he was Filipino.
No,
Nope.
he's got some Japanese in it.
Oh, okay. So
check out James's artwork.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yes, God damn me! You're gonna have to forgive me, everybody tonight. I'm not top of my game.
Nice.
But that is.
That is great.
Look at that.
Just listening, drawing, talking. This is fun.
That's
to me,
beautiful, James.
This is Superman.
Yep.
I don't mean to go dark here, but sometimes on Twitter you'll see somebody what is the celebrity death or something that most affected you most?
It'd be Reeve.
Whenever Christopher Reeve got hurt in his accident, I mean I don't know about you guys, but that
that was so tragic.
Well, yeah, because
that was hard.
Yeah.
Well, because that's Superman.
Yeah.
It was more than a man. To us.
Have any of you guys seen the documentary? I can't bring myself to watch it. It's just
I've seen parts of it.
No,
just the preview itself kills me.
Man. Yeah, it looks. I'm sure it's very well done. It's like watching the Anthony Bourdain show or movie Roadrunner. That one hit me very hard, and so it is when one of someone like that, and then you're stuck with the dark, what's left.
Right.
And it's hard. It is. That is beautiful, James. I'm sorry. I meant to blow that up earlier, but then my missus of the Empire was like, you're going to have to push your show back by an hour and only do it for an hour. Superman, the animated series.
Yes.
This
is fucking gold.
This.
Yeah.
This.
This is the first Superman stuff I was introduced to was this cartoon.
This is the Bruce Timm years. This is for me peak animated.
This
Superman.
is S tier.
Justice League.
Yeah,
this is.
Yeah.
Well, this was the sequel to Batman the Animated Series.
Right.
Yes.
This is the Bruce Timm, the Paul Dini. This is at the height of their stuff. So we get Batman the Animated Series, then we get this. Then we get
and
Justice
Tim Daly.
Yeah.
And it's all the nice thing is it's all the same universe. All of this takes place in the same universe.
See,
voice actors remain largely consistent for all these years for the whole run of this stuff too.
Clancy Brown is Lex Luthor.
Fucking Clancy Brown.
Yes. Now Shield said that Terry Hatcher was the hottest Lois Lane. I don't know. That cartoon Lois Lane was.
Absolutely. She's my favorite Lois.
Live action, obviously this Lois is.
She was pretty hot until Erica Durance came around in Smallville. But
So
Right.
I watched yesterday. It was in the Superman animated series. They had a crossover with Batman called World's Finest.
Yes, I love that episode.
Oh my lord! And that was the first animated team up between Superman and Batman. It started in those 3 episodes, and it is so well done.
Oh
Bruce
yeah,
keeps hitting on Lois, and Clark's like, God, he's a douche. And it's exceptional work. Tim Daly's voice and Joker. We've talked about this.
Perfect.
Tim Daly and Kevin Conroy.
Yep.
Superman and Batman, and those are the voices in your head, and they always will be.
So Batman animation and Superman animation were drawn out of how the characters were revised after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
So John Byrne's Man of Steel miniseries is probably one of the biggest comic influence, and John Byrne's depiction of him through when he was writing Adventures of Superman and Superman for not Superman, Man of Steel.
Go back.
On this.
Go back. One more. Right there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, I love this animation style.
Love it.
For this series.
It took me years after the Justice League Unlimited and like that whole like season of animation for me to even really care about animation anymore, because to me that is just peak animation. I didn't really care for anything after that.
So starting from here, and this was kind of when Andrea Romano was in charge of
she was casting.
In charge of voice casting for the Warner Brothers. At this point, as far as animation goes, the Warner Brothers could not be touched. They were just knocking it out of the park every single time, and it was
So this the continuity here was Batman, Superman, then the new Batman Adventures, then Batman Beyond, which is another.
Batman Beyond, love Batman.
I love Batman Beyond.
That Static Shock.
Yes, nobody ever brings up Static Shock.
There was another one, the Beta Project. I don't remember the exact name of it. And then it was the two Justice League series, and that was the end of that. There were
loved when Superman visited Static Shock. I know. I guess Joker doesn't like Static Shock, but I loved Static Shock as a kid. Like one of my favorites.
There was Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
There was that Mr. Freeze.
The Bruce Timm years are absolute gold. So we go from Superman the Animated Series into Justice League.
Yes.
Which, my God, what a thing! And why? Of course, it's gonna give me Smallville. I don't want to watch Smallville right now. God damn you! But the theme from the show is still in my head.
Right.
Yes.
The big 7, the original 7.
So and this kind of like the Super Friends introduced a lot of folks to different characters.
Yes.
Like for the younger generation, like right below us, Jon Stewart is their Green Lantern.
Yes. Yeah. And Hawk Girl is the Hawk people, you know. Like that's their representation is her.
Now
Shira Hall.
Now Roman, you mentioned Tim Daly, Kevin Conroy, Susan Eisenberg as the Wonder Woman.
As Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
all these voice actors were so iconic.
And the guy who plays Lex Luthor in Smallville is the Flash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rosenbaum, I think, is last name.
Yes.
Rosen, Jeff. No, not.
But the relationship between Superman and Batman
is so good.
Yes.
So good.
Oh.
It's also one of the many things I liked about this series was, yes, this was a kid's show, but
it didn't treat you like a kid.
Yes.
There were so many actual mature underlying themes that are in this show.
And the thing that I hate so much about like the people's critique of a lot of quote unquote kids TV shows nowadays is like, oh, it was for kids. But like this was for kids, but it did not speak to you as a kid. It did not treat you as a kid. It treated you like you actually had two brain cells to rub together.
Yes.
Hi, Sammy.
The dramatic
Hello.
and for this episode of the show, which reflected comic book repowering. One of the funniest in Dark Way episodes was when the villain mind controlled Wonder Woman, and she had to fight control games against Hawk Girl.
Yes, and they're all like, "We're dead. We're just dead. So we're gonna die." There's no one who can beat Wonder Woman.
Well, among them, it's like.
Well, that's what I've always said when it comes to who would win in a fight, Avengers or the Justice League. I'm like the Justice League because Avengers have no answer for Superman.
Oh, Thor.
And if Superman's not around, they have no answer for Diana either.
Thor would one-shot the whole Avengers team, whole Justice League team.
Okay.
I don't know. Diana might have something to say about that. Her also being, a god.
Well, also,
or
Martian Manhunter is exceedingly powerful.
Is absurdly powerful, like pre-crisis Superman powerful.
And also, like the Flash, like most people's Flash is Barry Allen. This was Wally West. Like
Wally
this
West.
was people's introduction to Wally West as the Flash.
Yeah.
Well, he in the comics he was the Flash at the time. Barry Allen.
Right.
How the fuck did Sammy get here?
I just greeted him, you old fart.
And I'm not wearing pants anymore. You have to cut me some slack right now. It's so hot. It's so hot.
Like best Batman continuation. Like I mean, I don't mind Damian Wayne, but like, bruh, I'm sorry, Terry McGinnis is.
I love Terry. I think Batman Beyond was one of the best things they did because it was much like Harley Quinn. They introduced a new character. They created a character out of kind of nothing, and you got old Bruce Wayne, who was Pip, and bringing up this youngster. And one of the best episodes, actually, of Justice League. It's I believe season 2, episode 20, if memory serves, called Epilogue.
Epilogue is a great series.
Yes.
Holy shit! It's a Batman Beyond episode in the Justice League. Terry is older now. Bruce is older.
Yeah,
it's oh my god! It's the opening with Ace when Jesus
it just rips your heart out.
Dark. That's a dark place.
Yes,
it was.
That's what I mean by like these are kids shows that don't treat you like a kid.
And he sat with her until her time came. Oh. And it's just like, oh my
and
God.
But I remembered that episode that she was referring to. Like I remember watching that episode.
James, my God.
Yeah.
I love you so
I love when Batman and the Batman Beyond, like he has to investigate the Justice League, and Superman, like I love, Superman's like, oh, Bruce, you're still alive. You're gonna, you're not gonna die before the rest of us. You're gonna live out of spite.
Sammy just got back from Superman.
Uh-oh.
So, youngster, what is your vibe on this?
Initial
Did
vibe.
anyone else see it?
No.
No one
I'll
else
see
has
it
seen
tomorrow.
it. So,
Okay.
Initial vibe check.
It certainly was a Superman movie. Actually, no. Okay, there was parts that it was a mixed bag. There was parts that I genuinely liked, and there were parts where James Gunn just got his stank all over it, where it was just like, hey, this fight scene didn't need to be to like an 80s punk rock song. It kind of like takes you out of it. But all in all, it was fun. It wasn't, there were some characters that, kind of they took some liberties with. There were some things that happened that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I thought it was better than anything Snyder shat out.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Really quick, a question.
Wait, what?
Sammy, because I'm going to go see it in a few hours. The performance of Rachel Brosnahan. as Lois.
Oh, she did good. And I thought they had good chemistry. Corn Sweat really kind of surprised me. He did really good. The weakest one I thought was Nicholas Hoult as
Lex
Luthor, which is insane because he's a dynamite actor. It just
he's one of the best of this generation.
Yeah, and what I was really thinking was, maybe he's holding back for this because there's like more to come, but like there was just certain key moments where he needed to like punch it, and that he can as an actor, and he kind of just didn't. But there are also moments where you're like, okay, that feels very much like Lex, but I don't know. There's also, you can definitely tell when things were like reshot in. Krypto is there for toys.
Is Krypto fun or annoying?
He rides the line, but like if you've ever had a large dog, you'll appreciate it. He didn't ruin the movie for me. I know some people says that he did. I personally, it didn't. Like it is, you do have to sell toys.
Maybe it's like the difference between people who own dogs and people who don't own dogs.
Yeah, okay. Lex Luthor feels very much like a cat person.
How was the CGI? Like,
there were parts where it looked. There were parts where it looked really, really good. And so then there were. No, for Krypto, no, because like he does things that dogs can't do. Like, he emotes. They have to make him more of a character. He also like throws fucking robots around and like flies in the air. So like using a real dog, like unless you got like Eddie from Frasier, like would have been impossible.
Because dogs can't fly. So
yeah,
that looks amazing, James. So Roman, I know we're talking about the animated series, and we were talking about the last episode of Justice League Unlimited. The last episode of Justice League, when the Justice League and the Legion of Doom are teaming up against Darkseid because they have to, and we get this moment where Superman is like, that man is my best friend. He will never stop fighting until there's not a breath in his lungs. But this is between you and me. And now is a time where we get to see something special, where I don't have to hold back.
And when he's fighting Mongol.
No, Darkseid. This is Darkseid.
No, that's a Mongol fight. It's because he's you can take it, can't you, big boy?
It's Darkseid.
Are you sure?
Are you talking about with the Black Mercy?
No, the final episode of Justice League the animated series, and it's like, but you can take it, can't you, big guy?
Yeah, he does.
So now we get to see just how powerful
I get to let loose.
And the best thing about that, though, is because Darkseid is absurdly powerful, he gets up, basically dusts himself off and one-shot Superman. Like there's no fighting like that.
Well, and then as Matt said, the great Clancy Brown as Lex.
That's the problem with anybody else playing Lex.
Right.
Is they're not Clancy Brown.
Yes.
That's what I want from my Lex Luthor. That's what I expect from my Lex Luthor. Is the sad part.
Oh God.
Oh, this movie.
Yes.
This movie has some banger one-liners, though. Where it's something to like go straight into the devil's anus and crank up the juice.
Yeah.
Now I remember the death of the animated film, The Death of Superman, and
which is different than this. It is the same, but this was the first of the DC animated features. This was
the first attempt at the death of Superman, and they don't do great.
No,
I thought it was fine, but the movies that come after it, not just the death of Superman, but all the movies that come after it, aside from
here's the thing,
shitty new ones.
I feel like this is the last of the golden age of the animated series.
No.
Am I thinking wrong?
The Warner Brothers starts doing these animated films that are just bangers. absolute bangers.
Public Enemies.
Oh, okay.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
So for me, it was when they switched animation styles. For me, I stopped watching when they switched to this animation style.
Oh, that was a mistake. These are the same voice actors.
Right.
Right. I didn't realize that at the time. I just remember them changing the animation style, and I said, no, I'm not here for it, and I stopped watching.
No, these are all fucking phenomenal. It's not until, quite honestly, a couple of years ago, they changed the animation style, and it looks like Archer, and they're not very good anymore.
No.
They really cocked it up.
Go back.
Cleavage? That one?
Okay. Message to all of you woke idiots out there. Starfire is orange.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
She is an alien from an alien species that is orange, you pieces of dog shit.
Yeah, Captain Adam in there. Major
I can just look at that frame all day.
Hashtag stop Gingerside.
Exactly.
Power Girl
I was not in charge of putting these slides together, by the way. So when you're looking at this, a lot of Power Girl, I didn't do that. But that's okay.
Sure. Just like how I'm not the one who burned down the building.
Well,
you did burn down the building, though.
So before
this was a really fun one, though. Again, this is we're just in the Bruce Timm era still.
So before they did the reboot with Infinite Crisis in the comics, which was kind of the next major reboot after Crisis, Power Girl is one of the few survivors from the alternate Earths in the original Crisis on Earth. She was a Supergirl from Earth 2, which is where Golden Age Superman was from. And she was notably more powerful than Superman until they powered him back up in the 90s.
Speaking of Supergirl, can we just agree that the Supergirl from Small, here we go. Supergirl from Smallville is an absolute smoke show.
Yes. Yeah, she's amazing.
So
yes.
As a young lad.
Yes.
2001 to 2017, is that right? Am I reading?
Yeah.
No, 2011.
2011 is when they stopped.
Oh,
I think so. That's when they stopped the series, but they had an extra episode in a different Superman thing of the Smallville universe. Like it was
2011.
I'll get to that.
Tom Welling.
John Snyder as Jonathan Kent. Stop it.
The first 3 or 4 seasons of this show were great.
Yes.
Then the stupid producers, Go and Miller, decided to keep resetting the show for 3 or 4 seasons, and like Clark's 4 years in high school took like 4 years of life.
Well, I always thought I thought the show, once he moved to Metropolis,
I'm getting there.
It kind of went off the rails.
I'm getting there. So then Go and Miller got fired because the ratings were declining steadily from seasons 5 through 7. So they fired. Basically, all of us Superman fans started leaving the show, right? Because they were just keeping him in high school for indefinitely. And then Jeff Johns, who was probably one of the 2 greatest Superman creators of all time, along with Grant Morrison, took over the show, and that's when we got seasons, end of season 7 through 10, where he matured into eventually Superman. And that's when all the Justice League characters appeared, and he had more superheroic stuff. And he stopped being in high school dramas, high school teen drama, you know. So I would say seasons 1 through 4 are the gold of this show. There's some great moments in the all other seasons, and then whether you like John's approach to the last 3 seasons would be whether you want to watch them, you know. But there are great Superman moments, like Clark shooting his power, save people moments. With the show, like there's the nuclear missile scene. So I don't remember. I want to say it was like in season 4 or 5. They launch a nuclear missile, and Clark can't fly yet, right? But he has his super speed and super strength and ability. So he runs and jumps, barely manages to catch the missile and stop it from launching and blowing whatever was going on. And the special effects of it and the way they did it was such incredible work. Then there's the cool scene where the dam busts and this giant tidal wave of water comes in, and there's a little kid about to be wiped out in the field. and Clark just appears there, blocks the kid, and like X-ray visions the whole wave of water away. You know. Then there's a cool scene where Chloe's about to be murdered by a truck flying through a window, and Clark just appears and catches the truck in front of her. You know, like there's a lot of great scenes and depictions. There's a lot of it's worth watching. There's a lot of strong stuff in there. It's just after the first 4 seasons, it gets a little you hit or miss.
And then
here we see that the Donner impact.
Yes, because the final episode, the final image, Clark is coming up onto the roof of the planet, and you can hear the theme starting, and I'm like, yes.
They play the Donner theme, yeah.
Yes.
So I had only seen that show in bits and pieces, but I know, it was an important part of the Superman.
I
have a problem. I don't like series.
Oh, and for Mando,
this is Joker. This is the one you asked me to put in, and this is the one we were just talking about with Supergirl. This is Batman, Superman, Apocalypse.
Yeah, this
is actually when I started watching animated stuff again.
And Joe J.
And this was
this one was a banger.
Movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was when Marvel was like blowing up big, and like everything DC did was just kind of But their animation, their animation was way better than anything Marvel was doing.
Right.
This is also one of my favorite Batman designs in any medium.
Yeah.
Like the ears are the perfect length. You got Kevin Conroy doing the voice.
Summer Glau
and you're getting smart Batman. Plans within plans Batman in order to even have any chance of doing anything against Darksider. He's got to be that way.
And this film is really more the relationship with Cal and Kara as it's kind of establishing Supergirl. And I think this film is great. It's absolutely great.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
It's one of the better adaptations from the comic origin. You were away, JB, when I was saying. The last great comic thing Jeff Lowe wrote before his son died was Superman Batman, about 25 issues of a comic. And this was part 1 of like the first arc in Superman Batman was this movie. And it's a pretty good adaptation.
Wait, is this where Rosario Dawson started taking over as the voice of Diana?
I don't remember.
I would have to when I pop out of this, we'll take a look. Okay. I don't want to fuck up the flow here.
And Kara's Apocalypse outfit, yum.
Yes,
just saying.
But man, Batman looks fucking
great,
scary. Mm-hmm. This is scary Batman. I love it.
Well, I don't think they do this in the movie because it's more younger audience driven. But in the comics, like I said, Darkseid wants to make her his bride and have a bunch of superpower Kryptonian babies.
Right.
But yeah,
I love this whole sequence where she's on the mascara and like he's like being like super duper overprotective, and Diana, like you almost get a scene where Diana and Superman are like, "You want to go? You want to go? Yeah. You want to go?"
Big Bart is in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, we about to finally settle this debate on who's stronger, me or you.
in the like the comics and animation, who is it that?
No, it's still Susan Eisenberg.
Okay.
Like, maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but didn't she have like some kind of sexual tension with Batman? A lot of times, or maybe
and Justice
when
League,
did someone didn't?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I like Batman, right? Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Justice League, Batman, and Wonder Woman had some tension.
And that's how it ends. Batman's pelvis gets broken from the snoo.
Exactly. Death by snoo.
That's something that I've never really looked into. Is like her.
Look what you did. You broke Joker.
Is her power level compared to Superman?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
As long as I can do it once an episode, I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, I guess in some of the animated shows, yeah. In the comics, she's not even close to him.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I have said this numerous times about this film. This is a decent superhero film. It's a terrible Superman
Yeah,
film.
I did not like this movie at all.
I feel like they didn't allow Henry Cavill to actually play the character properly.
No, he was such a missed opportunity. I hate what this movie did to Superman. I hate what it did to fans.
To me, this was the beginning of the end.
There's too much horrible writing in here. Like,
yeah, that's just it.
Clark murdering his father.
That was stupid.
Whole,
that was stupid writing.
Right.
That was just that I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. And also, even if you're gonna have that moment, like make it so Jonathan Kent is not a distance that a normal human could have saved him from.
Yeah.
He was like conservatively 10 feet away from the bridge
because it was like a tornado or something, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude,
it needs to be. It has to be the part.
That was
something
dumb. That was the worst scene ever.
It has to be.
You're
It has
gonna
to be
speed
something
and
out
here's
of Superman's control.
You guys saw the Robot Chicken version of that, right?
Well,
Yeah.
here's something else. Well, here's something else, and this is what this film missed. Because you talk about the Zod's Superman fight where they're just causing all this massive destruction. They missed the point of Superman, as opposed to what the Batman does. The Batman fights criminals. Superman saves people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like the stupidity of okay, think about this. The best part of this film is the part on Krypton in the beginning, right? And in that part in the beginning,
that was really good.
Yeah,
Yep.
they established that Zod, while he's maybe like evil-ish, knows Krypton is a fallen society and does not want to act like the rest of the Kryptonians, right? So then you get fast forward to the Earth, where he goes to the Earth and then starts acting like the other Kryptonians, ignoring the perfectly fine Venus and Mars that you could terraform and make new Krypton on, like 10 seconds away. Which Superman would have been like, yeah, let's go to Venus. I'll give you all the super DNA or whatever, and make Venus into Krypton. Like, look, instead of such a contrived fight, counter the establishment of how Zod was.
And you know what? Zod totally would have been like, wait, you're just going to give it up if we do that? Sure. I thought you were.
He was not depicted as maniacal and evil in this, And then
Zod was actually a very relatable villain. Yeah. His actions became illogical.
This was back when superhero movies were willing to put like the U.S. military and stuff.
Yep.
They really don't do it anymore.
Mm-mm.
Also, the amount of destruction at the end of this fucking movie.
Oh my God! Yeah,
is absurd. I remember sitting in theaters going like, this is absurd.
And Superman would not, would purposely take the fight away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would take it into space at this point if he saw the amount of destruction.
He'd at least have the decency to take it to France or something.
Here's the other thing about this that makes that kind of, to me, is so sad. There are so many top tier actors and actresses in this movie. There's no reason this should have been as bad as it was. So many great actors and actresses in this movie.
Well, the reason.
Well, there's the problem right there.
Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan. Okay, so I will very briefly give you the origin of this movie. Right, so Nolan did Batman Begins and was very popular, and so you obviously got the sequel, right? And DC at the time was seeing Marvel do their thing and wanted to make their own shared universe. So.
Right.
Nolan has a huge team of people he works with. He's like a whole team, not just like 5 guys, like 50 guys, right? And so they said to Nolan, "Hey, why don't you take control of the CEU, right, and be the guiding force, and we'll build out of your Batman movies?" And initially, he was like, "Sure, we can do this, right?" And so he started doing the 3rd Batman film and started doing the workup for Man of Steel. Okay. Then, for some unknown reason, because what was supposed to happen. Remember when Bruce went on sojourn in Man of Steel for a while, right? He was supposed to meet Bruce Wayne, who had faked his death on that journey.
Yep.
That was where they're supposed to become friends of. That was the original plotline. Right? Then for some reason, Nolan and Christian Bale decide they don't ever want to do Batman again, and you get the ending of Batman Rises, whatever. I hate the 3rd movie.
Dark Knight Rises.
I hate it. I don't remember the name of it. And then so they all bail except for like 3 guys. One of them is Zack Snyder, who's like, "I'll do the DCEU." And Zack Snyder's known for doing this grimdark crap, and everyone knew this was going to be horrible when it happened. It was like a when you see that train wreck coming, like
Yeah.
if you're on a savannah and there's a lion and one monkey falls down, the rest of you monkeys are watching. You know what's going to happen, right? Like that. We saw this coming, and we told them that Zack Snyder's going to deconstruct these characters. He's going to make it all grimdark. Bad like he did. Someone did a cut of this film where they took off the stupid darkening mask. It's like watching a whole different movie.
Oh, I'm sure. I remember seeing the preview for this and going, "Wow, that was a dumb preview." It was like they made it all too dark, and then I was like, it was obviously just the company that did the preview, right? It's not. And I remember sitting in theaters and like 2 minutes of the way through, going like, "Oh shit, the whole movie's gonna be like this." Like, like I couldn't believe it.
If you're gonna have that knockdown, drag out fight from Superman is at the end, you gotta have other heroes saving people. You can't murder 1 million people.
Yes,
and
right.
You just can't.
I will say that's where this
girl.
movie does a little bit better. The new one, because there are some extra heroes, like they can tell a big grandiose story.
And this is where that I say that Ben Affleck is the best live action.
I will 100% agree with that.
Yeah, the warehouse scene is amazing.
I did like him
this is
as
a terrible movie. He was so good
because he is the best Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
The Snyderverse actors are all like almost all great picks for the characters.
Yeah, all except I would say Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Was fucking terrible. Was so horrible.
I hate it.
Makes me want to dress up like Zack Snyder, look in the mirror, and punch myself in the face.
I mean the hero.
Continuously, take a stapler to your ball sack.
Jeremy Irons,
so bad.
Another thing too. We harken back on the stupid death of Jonathan Kent, the murder of Jonathan Kent. Another thing that Zack Snyder doesn't understand plot structure is, what do we need in the middle of this 2.5 hour movie? Oh, how about the ghost of Pa Kent telling a story about the one time that the Kent farm flooded and a bunch of horses drowned? And I was like, yeah, that'll really pick up the pace. I was like, what am I watching?
Well, also remember, there's 2 versions. There's the theatrical cut and there's the ultimate cut, which is arguably
it makes sense in neither.
Right.
But that flashback scene was like, what, why, what?
Yeah.
It was odd.
Not only that, but like odd. More bad writing. Like, if I recall correctly, that version of Doomsday can't fly, right? So why not only toss him into space, keep doing it till he stayed in space, then throw him into the sun or something.
Right.
Once he's off the Earth, he's not a problem. Like, no, instead have a knockdown, drag down fight in Gotham City.
Okay, so I want to hang on, because if you haven't, because they kind of did a very brief and bad story of the death of Superman, which the animated film, The Death of Superman,
did far better.
Of course,
is an absolute amazing piece.
The problem with Batman versus one of the problems. We'll say one of the problems is the Doomsday stuff didn't work. There was too much shit going on in that movie, and the Doomsday stuff was like, what the it was like adding another 5 pounds of shit to the fucking 2-pound bag. It was not good.
Now this film here was Warner Brothers' goal because of how good Avengers did. Mm-hmm. Now the problem is they tried to do 5 years of storytelling in
one movie.
Right.
Well, yeah. I still blame Nolan for that, for bailing on the whole. That being said, this is.
So.
Okay. Well, the Whedon edit is much worse, but I still remember.
I hate the Whedon edit. The
Whedon edit is just
the Zack Snyder.
That's the Whedon edit is the one that came out first, right?
Yeah, that's the one we saw in theaters.
This one came out 5 years later.
Sucks shit.
You got Cal. No. But
Which was even worse than the original Whedon one.
But I just remember it was like, so because the whole time, just because they cut a bunch out, Zack Snyder needs conservatively 14 hours to tell a story, no matter what. So even when he had full range at Netflix to do Harvest Moon or whatever the fuck that movie was, Rebel Moon, it was like he still had to come out with the director's cut. It was like, dude, it was a Netflix movie. No one was holding you back. You still,
right.
But okay,
like, I wanted to add another 25 hours of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I didn't get enough slow mo, and I wanted to put in a Nick Cage song.
The writing was so bad, and the trailer was fucking cool, the very first one, and then but the story was, that's neither here nor there. It just sucked. Here's DC's problem that they have right now is they're still trying, I guess, with the Superman movie. They're supposed to be like they're trying to make a new cinematic universe, right? Like,
they're starting
what
from
they need
scratch.
to do is just make one good
movie. Yep.
Because that's what happened with Iron Man. There was no plans to make more of them.
Good
they made one good one, and they're like, oh shit, this one's good. This is what they need to do. They need to drop this whole, we're going to have 10 years worth of movie stuff, make one good movie, then make another good movie, then make another good movie. Then
that's what killed the Dark Universe.
I'm just
they pose a universe before they have anything to build on.
Exactly, because you don't know if this is going to do good or not. Right.
I'm just glad that they cast Jason as Lobo, because he was not a good Aquaman.
Yeah. He played Lobo as Aquaman.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, it's Lobo Aquaman.
He is Lobo.
Yeah. I love this.
Then again, we're still in the fucking animated universe, and this is still when they were doing. And I'm only touching on a few of these movies. There are
DC when it comes to animated universe stuff is great.
The ultimate.
So this is Jason Isaacs actually as Superman. This is 2020, and this is an incredibly good adaptation. The end was iffy, but the overall adaptation I think was very good.
Yeah.
And again, it is just a what if.
It was a DC Elseworlds.
Yeah, it was the strongest Elseworlds that they ever did.
And
it makes sense. Like, literally, what if Superman just landed a little bit, off?
Earlier.
In Canada.
Yeah. Like, that's all it takes is he just lands someplace different.
In Canada. That's great.
Peace and justice.
Take off your hoser.
The alternate takes on Wonder Woman and Batman. Yes. Batman's a rebel. He's an underground rebel.
Yeah. The only thing that I didn't like about Batman's design is like they gave him like the furry hat on the. I was like, okay,
he's bald.
That's a little on the nose.
The Green
like, when are you gonna give Wonder Woman like a mamushka bandana to tie over her head?
and the fact that you have Superman chatting it up with Stalin.
Adam, deport Clark Kent. No.
What's up, Adam?
Hey, Adam.
No.
Adam.
Yeah, that's the.
And then, like, when Superman later on comes to find out, like, he actually is on the wrong side, and just the existential crisis he goes through.
Yeah, and kill Stalin. Just like,
yep.
No.
Look at that. The Green Lantern Corps, that was fucking cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because they're actually they're in military gear. It's just fucking it's brilliant stuff.
I can totally see the Guardians freaking out and going like, "Oh shit, Russia's got a Kryptonian."
Right.
Yeah, we need to send like 20 guys down there.
Easily.
Well, I mean, in the comics, they basically do the Superman 4 plot and left me.
Yeah.
And Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac, not that piece of yeah.
No, he's like a hardcore Brainiac.
Right.
This was such a good one. Again, you get a weird alternate version of Superman. Adam Gray, welcome, my friend. Love our friend Adam. And it's a full story, and the universe is already there. It doesn't feel forced. It's not shoehorned into a multiverse bullshit thing. it's like, oh, okay. And
Well,
Like, what if
works
Superman
really
just
well.
lands someplace different?
Yeah, no, they don't have to go. We don't have to see the origin stories. That's why I like so much, and I wish that these major Hollywood studios would see this. Warner Brothers. So, like in the beginning of what is it?
I love
Superman
this
Apocalypse.
so much because at the time I was watching like Young Justice. I was getting back into the animated like universe for DC, and I was like my dip back in was Young Justice, and then like
I loved Young Justice.
oh my gosh, just
The first 2 seasons are awesome.
After like season. After that, it kind of goes off a little bit, but like I still like overall.
It goes off a lot.
Yeah, it goes off the rails.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be
Constantine.
But the thing that makes Justice League Dark Apocalypse work is the fact they brought in John Constantine and they did it correctly.
Well,
Yes.
And I love Infected Superman.
Because John is like the heart of this film.
Yes. And the thing is, like, there are so many people who he's kind of like the and this is not a perfect comparison, but he's almost like the Deadpool for the DC. Like, he breaks fourth wall. He doesn't go by the rules that like most of the other superheroes have to go by. Like, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Like, he can go into different universes.
Well, it also too is, and what they really nail about his character is, as much as he pretends and wants people to think that he doesn't give a shit, he really does. You know, if anything, he cares the most.
Well, and his definition of giving shit is different. Like in the original series, his original run, at one point he has to have sex with fire to save someone. And fire is, and I don't mean fire the character. I mean a fire. Like you have to have sex for the campfire.
Which I don't know if you guys have tried it. Not a great time. not fun. Would not recommend.
This was my favorite version of Damian Wayne, BT Dubs.
So I agree with that.
So right here, you get this moment because Superman's been nerfed in this entire time.
Yeah, hardcore nerfed.
So he gets possessed by Trigon. And that burns all the nerfing out of him, and then we get this moment where Darkseid is gonna land a killing blow, and then it's stopped, and then you just see in the air, and I'm like, and I say it every time. I'm just like, Superman.
Yeah, let's go.
And then you get this wonderful moment with Darkseid, Trigon. And Trigon is talking to Superman. You better leave unless you want to fight me for who gets to kill this guy.
And Superman's like, peace.
I'm good.
Well, and that's my one problem with this is Darkseid is way more powerful than either of them. And I hate the thing happened with Darkseid.
Trigon's the devil.
Hold on. Trigon is also a god. Like, let's
yeah, okay,
Darkseid
but
isn't a god. Darkseid is the embodiment of tyranny, the entire DC omniverse. He literally can't be killed. Cannot be killed.
Yeah, right. and any dimension you're in when you encounter Darkseid, you encounter Darkseid. Like, it's not like, oh, this is this version of Darkseid.
He has an avatar for every single reality because his true self cannot manifest outside of his own dimension as long as Isaiah Highfather is there to counterbalance him because they're both omnipotent. And
that's why they always say like true form Darkseid is like
what happened
incredibly.
In Crisis, he won the war against Highfather and therefore can manifest his true dark side and took over reality, and that was Final Crisis. Which, by the way, Red Sun Superman appears in Final Crisis. At the end of the final battle with Superman, real Superman, like the main Superman, has to get
you're right.
So I got a question.
Darkseid. He gets the army of surviving Supermen from all the realities, and Red Sun Superman is one of them.
So I got a question. When does everybody start turning gay and stuff?
That's 10 years after this.
So
you get LGBTQ flag Darkseid for that universe.
No, see that shit was already starting to happen, and then they're like, "Well, we have to stop this, and we have to stop the continuity of this because if we keep going, we'll just have to continue to give them things that are good, and we won't be able to give them gay things." So that's how they ended it off the way they did, and then they woke up in Archer.
Yeah.
This show was the true victim of Warner Brothers disasters over the years.
Never saw this show. Never saw it.
You should. It's after Superman the movie. It's the best live action depiction of Superman there is.
So
it's all right.
I watched a couple like the first season of Supergirl. But what I hated about it is they never showed Superman. They'd show like his boots or something, and then they would act like he's not around whenever she would get in like serious trouble, right? And I'm like, the problem with the show is you got Supergirl and you want her to be challenged, but then you can never have Superman show up but in real life, that's what would happen, right?
Yeah.
And then they did some crossovers with the Arrowverse and those were decent and stuff.
To keep it simple, Supergirl started out on a different channel,
CBS.
so she was in a different universe. And
CBS.
And then eventually they CW took the show and they came with their multiverse, right? Now at the time, the guy running Time Warner, there was TV division and there was movie division. And he would not allow Superman or Batman to appear on TV at all.
Yeah.
Which is why the show Gotham you never saw Batman.
Right. That also was like that's what it just took me out of the shows. I mean, they had Martian Manhunter, and then
he got fired.
A bunch of characters in there started turning gay, and
Well, again, that's later though. He got fired. The guy I'm talking about, right? And at that point, the new people said, "Okay, we can start putting Superman and Batman in TV shows because our movies suck." That's basically what they said.
Yeah.
And Tyler Hoechlin, who was on Teen Wolf, which is another underrated show, came in as Superman. And originally, he was a backup character for all the CW shows. Remember, we showed his uniform early on in the memes. Okay, so he was, and I would tell people all the time: the first 5 seasons of Arrow, along with this show and the one episode of Flash Time, and the crossover, the things to watch from the CWverse. So eventually, they let him be a background character, but he episodes he was in proved to be one of the most popular episodes of the Arrowverse shows. So they said we got to do a TV show for him. So the plan was for his show to succeed the Supergirl show. So they had a budget for I think 2 or 3 shows at a time, if I remember correctly. So that's when Superman and Lois came from. And initially we thought it was going to be a woke disaster like the rest of Arrowverse had turned into. But the guy who ran this show, there were 2 guys running the Arrowverse, and one of them was the woke guy, that's Berlanti, and the other one hated the woke stuff and wanted to write superhero stuff, and he got to do Superman and Lois. And so there's almost nothing woke about it. It gets better each season, even though the budget goes down, so the special effects go down. It's not a perfect TV show, but it hits all the right points. The characters evolve. They use the special effects properly, their budget properly. They don't waste them. I love it. I can't, having watched
probably the best looking live action Doomsday or even animated.
Doomsday was fucking great.
That was Lex Luthor, by the way, being played by the dude who played what's his face from The Walking Dead, and the guy from Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Right. He played. I know who you're talking.
He was a pretty good Lex Luthor. Very, very personally driven. Like, because Lex can be a complex character, and not. I guess I'll spoil it a little bit. He was kind of being an evil villain, but he wasn't focused on personalizing it until Lois and put him in jail for a false crime, and he not any of the real crimes he did, but she framed him for a crime, and he came out of prison finally, being cleared of it, and personally went after her whole family. So it's a pretty cool storyline the way they did it. The fight against Doomsday, the way they brought him back, and
did they do?
That was a great Doomsday.
Did they do Arrow crossovers and stuff with him?
Initially, he was in. So this show was the last Arrowverse show. All the other ones either had been like winding down in their last season or were done prior to this show starting. And eventually, what happened? The CW got sold off and all that, or they would have done more shows following from this. But they did. So the Arrowverse did crossovers. And the last one, the big one, was the Christ on Infinite Earths crossover. Wasn't the best of all the crossovers. I think the first one was the best one, but he had a big role in Christ on Infinite Earths. They actually crossed over with the Snyderverse films. The Flash was in it. They crossed over with the Lucifer TV show. They crossed over with Constantine was already in the Arrowverse at the time.
Yeah, he was on the.
Michael Keaton Batman appeared in the show.
Adam West appeared.
Adam West appeared.
Ward.
What's his face? He played the voice of Batman. What's his face? Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, he was Batman,
in it. He played evil Batman, coincidentally enough.
Yeah, he kind of almost played like he had like the Kingdom Come exoskeleton on.
Yeah, and they had a lot of cool Flash. Okay, I have to sidebar on this one. So we call him Flash Dad if you're a fan of the Flash show. It's Wesley Shipp who played the Flash in 1990s TV show.
Right, that was very brief, but yeah.
Jay Garrick
he played Jay Garrick, and we call him Flash Dad all the time because he played an original Flash, right? And they brought his character back. For those who don't know, in the comic Crisis on Infinite Earths, to save the universe, the Flash had to run at almost infinite speed to do something, okay? And in the comic, it was to let them know what was going on. In the show, he had to run on the Flash's super treadmill to prevent the bomb from going off and wiping out all reality in one shot, right? So they brought back John Wesley Shipp as the 1990 Flash to do that, saving modern Flash. There was a lot of cool stuff in there. I know it's a sidebar and all this, but ultimately, this Superman and Lois show, I was in the hospital when it finished, and aside from missing you guys and being sick, that was my third worst thing was missing the season of having to like YouTube watch clips of it because I wasn't home, But
wow,
yeah,
that is amazing, James.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Appreciate it, guys.
Also, sidebar about Superman and Lois, it could have just dealt with we just needed one kid. We didn't need both of them.
I was okay with that because at the end, they didn't, they didn't overwhelm them, okay, spoilers, I just have to do it. There was an epilogue episode at the end to wrap it up, and they depicted the two boys as helping him to some extent, but not taking away from him. Like they were emerging as Infinite powers for the bulk of the third and fourth season, right? But at the end, they depict his sons as taking over for him after he passes, right? Because there's a time jump at the end, right? And so the nice continuity. Well, the last episode is kind of epilogue-y, right? I'm not going to spoil the whole bit of it, but it's like the last episode, 2 episodes of Supernatural. So epilogue-y.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
I can see that.
Yeah.
So, Sammy?
Yes?
Did you die? Where are you?
No, he's there.
I just turned my camera off. I'm eating dinner.
Did you die?
I'm here.
I don't even know where you are. I don't even know who you are anymore. So, would you recommend the new Superman film?
Yeah, hold on. Let me set down my chili.
We're gonna wrap after this, guys, because we've gone a little bit, but we did good. We actually got in a lot of it, more than I thought we were gonna. We actually got it all in.
Personally, I would say go see it because it is a mixed bag. There was things that I very much enjoyed about it, and there's things that James Gunn does very well, but there's things that James Gunn can't help being James Gunn doing. And I think that David Cornsweet does an excellent job, and he understands the character, and he gets an opportunity to be the Superman that Henry Cavill never was. Just all about the people, helping people. I say Nicholas Hoult was very weak, but I saw people walking out smiling. Definitely more anchored to younger audiences. And which I don't hate. That's fine. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do that, though, everyone should like it. I think it is gonna be kind of a polarizing film, though. People are really gonna get on board. Oh yeah, by the way, the girl who played Cat Grant was just a smoke show. And
what about Miss Tessbacher? I heard good things about her.
As Lois?
No, she works for like Lex Luthor or something, right?
She's like the social media person.
Oh, yeah. No, she's there. She is definitely the comic relief, and she's a comic relief that lands.
Okay.
There's a couple other characters where they tried to do it. They actually had like a comedian from SNL in there.
A bad sign.
Yeah. Metamorpho was really, really cool. All of his stuff was really cool, and it wasn't cheesy or well done. None of these characters gets the most shine though, as much as Krypto though. I thought they utilized him responsibly. Oh yeah, and Nathan Fillion is way too old to play Guy Gardner. He is.
That's what I thought too. He's past.
It shows. I think if you put a room full of comic book fans in there, 50% of them will be happy and like it, and 50% of them aren't. And the 50 who aren't are gonna. It's gonna be the Snyder Bros, everything, because this is a very bright,
colorful.
Yeah, colorful. Just what you would actually expect seeing a Superman movie. There is a little bit of shoehorned politics in there, but it's not enough for you to like throw your hands up in the air.
Right, because I've been hearing from our sphere, Yellow Flash loved it, absolutely loved his film, and of course we've got the folks who are gonna just shit on stuff because they want to shit on stuff.
Yeah, but if you're going in for that, it's like that mentality. If you go in like a hammer, all you're gonna see is nails.
Nails, right?
This was. Like I said, there was plenty of fun stuff. There was a couple of like character drops where you're like, okay, cool, but I'd say the biggest issue is Lex Luthor has this grandiose plan that you see enacted, but you see no preparation, no planning, no nothing. You just walk in and he's already executing this bitch, and you're like, well, I guess these guys don't like each other. Because they keep talking about like, well, we've been doing this for 3 years. And I was like, well, maybe bringing some of those past escapades up would have been helpful. There are 2 post-credit scenes. None of them are worth sitting there for. I'll spoil one. It's literally just Superman and Krypto like watching the Earth from the moon that we saw in the original poster. I guess James Gunn really enjoyed that. As far as anything, if anyone else has any questions, like I'd say it's definitely not a failure. I'm interested to see how it does in the box office. Visually, like all of like the Daily Planet and everything, so much better than the Snyderverse.
Okay.
There is one part that I can't talk about because I don't want to spoil anything, which is a CGI disaster. But like also I don't know how else they would have depicted it. So like I'll give them a pass. But it just looked over animated. But seriously though, Metamorpho and how he used his powers, that could have been really, really, really cheesy looking. And it didn't come across that way. So there's a couple key things that are really, really stupid about it, but otherwise I was entertained and like I wasn't watching my watch or anything like that.
I'm already sold. All
right. Well, thank you, Sammy, for that.
Is Frank Grillo in this movie?
Yeah, he's Frank. He's Rick Flag Senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thought I saw him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mr. Terrific is he's not the Mr. Terrific that we know from the comics. He's if anyone I know we love our movies here. He speaks jive pretty much.
All right. So he's a modern audience, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, kind of. No, there's like things like, can you fix it? And you're like, of course I can fix it, bitch. I'm Mr. Terrific. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Lord. Well, they can't all be fantastic. Go ahead, Joker. Then we're gonna wrap her up here, guys.
No. I'm just gonna say, the image, the two of the lasting things with me with Superman is episode 1 of the it's either Justice League or the Superman series, the animated series, where you've got Lex in his office and there's Superman just hanging in the air, just like this. And this is what really kicks off Lex's hatred of Superman, because now there's someone who can look down on him. And as I said at the start, I've been listening to the original 1978 theme, and you just can't help it. You feel lighter. The corners of your mouth perk up, and it's almost like when the crescendo hits, you're just kind of like starting to do the pose, and it makes you feel good. Dear God, that is amazing, James.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, James, that is a beaut.
Just listening to you guys talk, I have to be honest, I've missed out on a lot of this stuff that you guys are talking about through the years, but it's just listen to it. It's fun. It makes me want to go out and just turn on the TV and watch it. But no,
that is phenomenal, my friend. Wow.
And the fact that the fact you got that done in 2 hours is just
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. So we're going to go around. The goat wanders in the end. Really?
Goat, what did you think? Just that Goat, what did you think? Good or bad?
Yeah, what is the goat's synopsis?
You like it or not like it?
You don't have to elaborate.
Yeah, just if you liked it or not, or you thought it was hot garbage.
All right, cool. Nice talk with you, Goat.
But
maybe she already dug it out.
We try to include her, and this is what happens.
Well, we are on a 7-second delay, so.
That's true. That's true. So
we can't end the show until Goat responds now.
And let's talk about what we do have coming up. I do want to say thanks to everyone tonight. We went through an awful lot of material tonight, and I think we did a nice job covering it. We didn't dwell, but we didn't rush through too much either. I think
I withheld my Speed Force rant that you guys almost induced, and when you kept bringing up.
Oh, I was waiting for it when you started talking about the Flash running fast. I was like, "Oh, here we go."
The Speed Force.
It was building. I kept biting my lips, saying, "No, we only have 2 hours."
But then you probably thought, well, how would Naruto tie in? Yes. And then it calmed you back down.
Dear God in heaven.
Well.
So thank you again. Like I said, we went through an awful lot of stuff tonight. So if you hung with us for the whole show tonight, thank you for that. You got to see a whole bunch of Superman, and maybe you got to see some stuff you weren't familiar with, and you can go check out. That's one of the fun parts about doing a show like this, where you cover pretty much the catalog. Now, we didn't delve into the comic books themselves much. There was only so much time to do this. But two standout Superman comics for me, and I like it, is check out The Dark Knight Returns. It's not a Superman book, but the Superman in that is very interesting. And Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is very much a Superman story, and it is a brilliant piece of work by Alex Ross. And if you haven't read that book, go out and do it. So we'll go around the horn, say what we got coming up.
Roman, I have to go now. Yeah.
Go first.
Okay. So basically, I'll be on again this Sunday with the throwing of the dice and the hoping that our ship doesn't sink into the ground or the sea, whatever. And I'll be on Jacob's show Tuesday. I have my stream on Wednesday, and I'll be back here Thursday. So thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
Don't set anything on fire. Okay. So, all right. Shieldwall, my good friend, thank you for being here. What do you have coming up, buddy?
So this was a really fun stream for me, learning about all the different Superman stuff I didn't know, because my knowledge is very limited. But I'll reiterate, my favorite Superman stuff is the 40s cartoons. They're just so well done. I love the art style. But yeah, this was a great episode. Jacob's slides were outstanding, and James's art as always. And we even got a Sammy 3-peat sighting right at the end. So,
Sammy, you get the Sammy review.
Yeah, it was great. Yes, exactly. Out of the theater, hot off the presses. And obviously, Joker and Matt's knowledge combined, I feel like I've got a PhD now in something. Anyway, so I will be on Jacob Ironside's show on Tuesday of next week, and we'll be doing some more of the Star Trek Deep Space Nine Dominion War stuff. And so tune in for that. That's always a good time. It's my favorite Star Trek is Deep Space Nine. I know it's not for a lot of people, but I just like the story and everything. Plus, Kieran Reese is kind of hot. Anyway,
it always goes back to that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to. But anyway, thanks for having me on. It's a great time. Thanks to the chat. I see you, Boosh.
Shaking that ass.
Yep, exactly.
Shaking that ass.
Yep, and to King B Johnson for showing up here and interacting.
King B was all over the chat tonight.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And Stephen Ransom was here for a bit. So yeah, we appreciate everybody that stops by. Without the chat interaction, it's not quite the same.
True.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me on. Oh, and I go see the movie tomorrow, so I'll probably have some fun.
Right on. Joker voice, my good friend. What do you have coming up?
Busy weekend for me. Busy weekend. I've had to actually rearrange my own internal scheduling. Actually, right after this, I'm going to be heading to go see Superman in a couple of hours, because Saturday I've got not one, two premium pro wrestling shows to watch. Sunday there's another premium pro wrestling show to watch, which a half hour after that show, myself and friend of the channel, Left Eye Ego, will be doing a live recap of that. My normal Friday video was going to be something about these events going on. I'm gonna have to scrap that. I got none of my notes done, so I'll be dropping my review of Superman on Friday or tomorrow.
There you go.
The morning. But yeah, so there is no rest for me at all. I've actually had my Peacock feed put into Occam for tomorrow for taco night, so I can watch. So I can. And why do we have tacos on Saturday at Occam?
It's a madhouse.
Oh, you mean the streaming service? I thought you were talking about you were putting Peacock into the taco.
You just thought he had the bird.
Yeah. Okay, that's a new one.
You can't make those.
But yeah, this was a ton of fun. And James, as always, to do this in 2 hours time is just ridiculous.
So great.
But yeah,
all you guys, man, all you guys.
And I'll be back here next week too.
What do you have coming up, bud?
Well, we have Wednesday is overbooked next week. We'll be talking about some part of the 15 to 20 hours of pro wrestling content coming out this weekend. That's kind of all preliminaries and whatever. If you are a glutton for wrestling punishment, this is your weekend. So no sleeping, just watching wrestling.
Pretty much.
Whatever's on your show next week, we have Roman. And I have a video dropping this weekend with the questioners. We continue to talk about the tendency of video game creators of companies to like brick their own games when they turn them offline or whatever, And final recommendation: Superman comics, All Star Superman by Grant Morrison. The adaptation is horrible, but comic is.
The adaptation sucks.
Yeah, but
Well,
it is
that's
probably
further,
one of the better Superman stories.
the last story for pre-crisis Superman, which is whatever happens to the Man of Tomorrow. That's like the final issue in the 80s that came out, and there's some recommendations for you.
All right. Jacob Ironside.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you have coming up? Young sir?
Yeah, like Shieldwall said, we'll be doing Deep Space Nine Dominion War
What's
on
going
Tuesday.
on over here?
And the episode, it's a 2-part episode, and it's Homefront. It's a really, really thought-provoking 2 episodes. And I'll be on Goat's show Tuesday or Wednesday night for the TV show Daybreak.
Oh yeah. You guys, you've been doing that. That's been pretty good to watch.
Yeah. And then I'll be back here next week.
Right on.
What?
Sammy!
The show is over before your show comes on. Come on.
I'm kidding, Jacob.
Sammy, what do you got, bud?
Right after this, I will be on Darnell Quigley's channel for 2 pigs and a sieve, or 2 sieves and a pig. That makes more sense. And then I'll also be working on my own personal review of Superman. I thought it was good enough to break it down. But after that, I got my cousin's wedding on Friday, and then like my goddaughter's birthday on Sunday. So I'm going to try to squeeze in my shows. I'm definitely going to have Cave Cast on Saturday. We'll see if I get to the news. But after that, it's also going to be a crazy week. There's a good chance I might not be here next week because I have to go help my sister move. But
she'll be fine.
What the fuck, Sammy?
And he may not come back from that.
I'll actually no. I'll come in at the last moment. I'll give you a review. I was like, it was nice.
A full cast of him enchilada on him and chill him.
Yeah, I was like, I wish that she didn't go with the foam mattress. It was hard to maneuver around corners. I'll give you the whole. I'll give you the review after I get back.
But the review of the move. That's right.
Yeah, the review of the move.
It's always a good time when you have to actually cut a box spring in half and then put metal stringers in it to put it back together because you had to cut it to get around a corner. I've had to do that before.
Well, she just had back surgery, so I'm sure her shoulder is going to be sore from pointing by me and my elderly father have to move her shit. Even though she's like happily married, and can definitely afford a moving company. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Oh my god! And our good friend, and I'm going to blow this thing up here, James.
Wow,
again,
dude.
Yeah, look at that.
2 hours, 2 hours. He can produce this, folks. What are you doing with your fucking life? But,
yeah, not being a talented artist.
You're asking me for a second. Sure. I was like,
no, James, I know what you're doing. You're a busy motherfucker.
Yeah.
And again, this is an extraordinary piece. This may be one of my favorite pieces that you've done for us. It's beautiful. But you're a busy dude. You got a lot of cons and shows and all kinds of shit going on over there. What do you have coming up, dude?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on, man. Like, my knowledge of comics and things is nothing compared to your guys's, but the time flies by so fast on here. It's just a joy listening to all the lore and everything. And for me, what do I've got coming up? Well, I'm just
I gotta go. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye. Something bad happened.
No, Sammy just had to go.
Well, I've got Tokyo Comic Con is coming up in December, so until that time, I'm going to be working on sketch card work for Topps. As always, I've got a couple things I got to do with them, but I'll just be working on some new pieces. So just be on the lookout for those. I'm going to try to do some live on YouTube. So a lot of my stuff isn't planned; it's just impromptu. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else going on now. Just going to keep my working at the drafting table and trying to come up with stuff for you guys to look at.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for being with us again, especially on such short notice. I apologize.
No problem.
Because I am a dunderhead. But so next week, my friends, and this will be for the panels, just getting the announcement as well for most of them. We are going to be doing the 1956. what the fuck year is this goddamn stupid 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So we're going to do a little back in time stuff.
Okay.
And this is a fun movie. It's extremely well done, and if you've never seen it, watch it. You're going to get a kick out of it, and you're going to be very surprised by a movie of this era, I think.
Gotcha.
I think it's on par with like them and stuff like that. The movie,
yeah, without the cheesy ant effect.
Right. But yeah, but it was during that era where
the acting is really good ones, extremely well done. It's a sci-fi thriller drama. It's a great movie. It's very different than the 1970. I believe 78 is the year for the
that one.
They're very different movies, but they're both
right.
They're both technically a sequel.
Well, they did that. We won't go because I don't have time to have the discussion on it now. But that's what we're going to be doing next Thursday at 5 Pacific Standard, as we always are. I want to thank this panel, especially James tonight for his extraordinary work. We had a great discussion tonight. Thank you to the chat. We had some new folks hanging with us tonight, and very, very, very interactive. So thank you. It wasn't even the usual weird or offensive stuff. It was just like good shit. Look at that! Oh my god!
It wasn't the normal.
Right? Yeah, it was just good interactions tonight, guys. So thanks for hanging out with us. And tune in next week again. Everybody's information. Look for that. And that's it for tonight. Look for us next week with the 1956 Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Go watch the movie. Check it out. See it for yourself. Get a vibe for it. See what you think for the new Superman. And then everybody can have their arguments about it later, just like we used to. So until next time, be kind.